As we prepare to read God's Word, please join me in prayer. Lord God, we thank you that you speak. As we read your Word now, comfort us with your voice so that we may come out of our hiding and enjoy fellowship with you. In Jesus' name, amen. This morning, our scripture comes from Genesis chapter 3, verses 6 through 9. There we read these words. When the woman saw that the fruit of the tree was good for food and pleasing to the eye, and also desirable for gaining wisdom, she took some and ate it. She also gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate it. Then the eyes of both of them were opened, and they realized they were naked. So they sewed fig leaves together and made coverings for themselves. Then the man and his wife heard the sound of the Lord as he was walking through the garden in the cool of the day, and they hid from the Lord God among the trees of the garden. But the Lord called to them, "Where are you?" This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.
Long before we come to God with any of our own questions, God comes to us with the question of his own, and the question is, where are you? Where are you? It's a searching question. It's a question, though, that, as we might expect, goes far beyond the searching of what our location might be. This is not a game of hide and seek where Adam and Eve have tricked God even for a little while in being able to hide. God knows where they are, just as God knows where we are in our own hiding, whether that might be physical or any way that we might pretend to hide ourselves from God. There it is. We were on mute. So it's a searching question. But it's a question that goes far beyond the searching for our physical location. Where are you? It's a question of God to Adam, to Eve, searching for their, more about a posture, more about where are you in terms of who am I and who are you in relationship with me. Coming as this question does from the Lord God, and coming when it does from the Lord God, it's a question that reminds us that this is a summons from God, God calling us to account, God calling us to come clean. It's a question that reminds us that we can't not deal with God. We can't not deal with God. This is what Adam and Eve have just tried to do. They've acted as though they can act apart from God. They can live apart from God. They've eaten from the one tree in the garden where God said, you must not eat from this tree, the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Some people think this is kind of just an arbitrary test to see if Adam and Eve could listen. So God could have said, don't climb that mountain or don't cross that brook or don't pluck that flower. But there's more to it than this, because God has said you can eat from the tree of life, but you cannot eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, because if you are to eat from that tree, you are expressing your desire to live independently from me. You want to call your own shots. You want to act as though you can live the way that you please. So we begin to think about this act, this eating from the tree, as almost like a childish reach for independence. Now, of course, we want our children to grow, to mature, to learn what it means to be independent, to be able to discern what is right versus what is wrong. But often these reaches are done prematurely. Children don't always sense the need to listen to some of maybe the odd rules, to them at least, that we give them. Why do I have to go to bed so early? Why can't I eat only a sparing amount of candy? Why is it that we can't run through church? Right? These parameters seem kind of arbitrary, and it almost seems like nonsense. So they'll reach for some independence when they can. We know, though, that it's not only children who reach for independence. Adults have ways of reaching as well. It maybe just comes out in some different ways. So about a year ago, there was this article written about David Brooks, and he's a commentator with the New York Times. He's on PBS NewsHour. You've probably seen him. This article noted that over the past several years, his writing has changed in terms of its content of it. He used to write more kind of the nuts and bolts of politics, and over the years he has shifted to think more in terms about moral matters. What is right and wrong, and why is it important for us to think about this as a society? Now, we would cheer this, of course. We think it's utterly important to be thinking about what is right and wrong, and for us to think about this as citizens as we try to pursue the common good. But He's noted that not everybody is thrilled about his endeavor here. Not everybody likes him thinking about morality, and this is what he says about that. He says, I think there is some allergy our culture has toward moral judgment of any kind. There is a big relativistic strain through our society that if it feels good for you, then who am I to judge? I think that it is fundamentally wrong, and I'd rather take hits for being a moralizer than to have a public square empty of moral thought. You kind of hear what he's saying. There are people who want to reach for their independence, who in many ways say, thanks God for your opinion, but I will do things my way. I want to live independently. This is what Adam and Eve are exhibiting as humanity's very first couple. We know something of it. The desire for independence, the temptation for that is so irresistible that we can't help but take that at times, wanting to call shots for ourselves, trying to act in ways that say to God, thanks, I've heard it, but I'm going to do things my way. We want to live in a way at times that says that we can live without God. And yet there comes the question, where are you? Where are you? It's a summons from God to humanity, a calling humanity to account, a calling them to come clean, a reminder that given what we might think about our relationship with God, God says, you can't not deal with me. I am here. I will question. And we might not like the sound of this, but we quickly come to realize that we are ever grateful for God calling us to account, because we find that God is calling us out of our shame, calling us out of our fear, and calling us back into fellowship with God, walking in his wonderful light. And we realize this in a couple of different ways. First, we're grateful for this because it does reassure to us that there is a right and a wrong, and this is really what we want. I was reading something this past week about Dean Koontz, who's the author of many novels. I haven't read any. It's a genre I don't typically get into, but he writes a lot of suspense and a lot of thriller, and he writes about some alarming things along the way. And they asked him, why do you write about some of the things that you write about? And he said, well, in Enlightenment thought or modern thought, he says, people have done away with the idea that there's this notion of a true evil. He says people say there's really no true evil, but he says experientially we know that that is not true. We know that there's a difference between right and wrong, and so he says this. So he says people gravitate to fiction that says there is true evil, that there is a way to live that is good, and that there is a way to live that is bad, and that these are moral choices. He says people are wanting this. This is why they turn to my books. That's why so many of my books sell, because people have this sense that there's a right and wrong, and they want to read stories in which the right prevails and the wrong is held accountable. And we say, so far, so good. This aligns with what we say. The problem becomes when we find that we have transgressed what is right, what is good, and we try to do the hiding. This is about as good of an effort as Adam and Eve made, right? God knows where they are. God knows where we are, but we try to hide. We try to hide because our nakedness has been made plain to us, meaning that we are now vulnerable, we feel ashamed, we recognize in an instant that we have entered a territory, a way of being, a way of living that we were never intended to enter. It's almost as though Adam and Eve enter this sphere, this reaching for independence, and as soon as they reach, something is triggered. They feel this chill, and they know that they're in a spot where they're not supposed to be. There's a movie from some years ago, and I can remember it kind of vividly because it was a bit of a, just caused some angst watching it, but there's these two young men, and they devised a scheme just to see if they could get away with it. They were going to kidnap a young woman and then murder her just to see if they could get away with it, just to see what it would be like. So they go through this scheming, and they kidnap this girl, they keep her in hostage, and they end up carrying out their plan. And the moment the plan is carried out, one of the two young men, he just snaps, he loses it, he vomits, he's physically appalled by what has happened, and he begins to shake, and he is fearful. That's a really extreme example. But this movie captured something of this reaction, a reaching for independence, a reaching to see, I can do things the way I want to do them. And as soon as that action was taken, something was triggered. And it was pictured in this movie by this young man, physically shaking, vomiting, suddenly very, very afraid. This is where Adam and Eve are. They have found themselves to be utterly vulnerable in their human condition. It's not that they weren't vulnerable before. They were naked before, but they were unashamed of it. There is something about being vulnerable, living in a trusting relationship with God, that even though they were vulnerable, they knew that they were safe and secure. And yet now as they pledge independence from God and say, thanks God, we're going to do it our way, they find that they are naked, as they always were, and now vulnerable in a way that is terrifying for them. Terrifying for them. And so they hide. Where are you? God comes to them with this question. Where are you? I know where you are physically, but where are you? What has happened? Are you going to be forthright? Are you going to be honest? Are you going to give an account of what you have done? Are you going to return to me? Where are you? It's the question that comes to us. We think about maybe what we might hide. The list is maybe endless in some ways. It doesn't always have to be the most colorful things, but maybe we hide certain things, and maybe it was a lie that we told, and the truth has not come out, but we're going to hide that lie because we don't want to be exposed for having told it. Maybe there's a pattern of behavior that we hide because we don't want people to know that we participate in that pattern of behavior. Maybe we hide the fact that maybe we get out of a Black Friday weekend and we hide the fact that we really do like acquiring as many things as possible. Or maybe we hide the fact that we're not as compassionate as we portray ourselves to be. Maybe these are some of the things that we hide, and as we recognize that we do hide certain things, maybe we think about how do we hide, and maybe we hide behind polished family portraits and carefully cultivated Facebook profiles, and maybe behind veneers of style and success, and probably most of the time by simply only telling people what we want them to know about us. But we hide behind these things because as human beings, like Adam and Eve, we have failed to resist in some way that temptation to say, I'm going to do things my way. I'm going to eat because I like the thought of independence. And as soon as we do it, something triggers, and we feel that chill, and we find that we've entered a territory that we have never been intended to enter, and it is terrifying. And there's the question, where are you? The good news is that God comes. God asks a question, inviting us into a dialogue, inviting us to come clean. And maybe we find that this is the last question that we want asked of us, given that we're terrified, ashamed, feeling vulnerable. We don't want to come out from behind whatever our poor innovations on fig leaves have been. We don't want to come out in that way. And yet maybe it's the first question that we want asked to us. Last week I quoted Jamie Smith from Comment Magazine. This one I'm going to quote him from his most recent book. He says, what if the opportunity to confess is precisely what we long for? And what if we want to confess our sins and didn't even realize it until given the opportunity? Well, what if this is what we really want? What if this is what we're longing for and we didn't even realize it until we had the opportunity to come clean? Maybe you saw the email this week from Lee Boss. Part of the update he sent, he noted that two of his colleagues couldn't quite tell exactly what role they were in, but two colleagues of late have come forward and they've confessed moral failings. Said not many of us knew anything about this. This was a great surprise. Now, on the one hand, we think how humiliating to come forward with that, to make public, to make known what has been hiding, and yet we also wonder for these two colleagues of his, is there something of a relief that comes along with that as well? To know that there's no longer anything hidden here. I can step forward, I can confront this, I can get this off of my chest. Right after Jamie Smith asks these questions, he talks about this episode in a TV show, True Detectives, and there's one detective that can always get the suspects to confess their guilt, and they say, well, how does that happen? How can you always draw the confession from somebody? And he says, hey, look, everybody wants confession. Everybody wants confession, especially the guilty, and we're all guilty. Everybody wants confession, especially the guilty, and we're all guilty. Where are you? It's God's first question in the Bible. It comes to Adam and Eve after they have crossed a barrier, entered into a sphere that they were never intended to enter, and they are ashamed and they are scared. And God comes to them with a question. It's a question that calls them to account. It calls us to account. It reminds us that we can't not deal with God, and yet it's the Bible's first bit of evidence that though we have pretended as though we could not deal with God, it's the Bible's first piece of evidence that God pays us the incomparable compliment that God is ever persistent in dealing with us. God is ever persistent in dealing with us. And to assure us of that, Jesus gathers us around the table this morning. He gathers us knowing that each of us have been asked the question, where are you? Knowing that each of us have tried hiding in some ways. Knowing that we can't stand the thought of coming out of our hiding, feeling vulnerable, feeling so scared. And yet he gathers us around the table this morning to reassure us of the fact that he came with the cross always in view. That he came and now says to us, be assured that I bore the penalty, bore the weight for your guilt. He gathers us around the table to assure us this morning that though we have hidden ourselves, God has come to us, has invited us out of his hiding so that we might know of forgiveness, that we might find healing, and that we might legitimately anticipate what God is yet to do, knowing that we belong to God in reconciled relationship through Jesus Christ. So as we gather around the table this morning, I invite you to join me in prayer. I'm going to borrow a few words at the beginning of the prayer from Ken Geyer, who has written a brief devotional book and has written a prayer reflecting on our passage this morning. So would you join me in prayer?